Konami just announced the brand new selection pack Wandering Travelers Master Duel coming out later this week, bringing with it some support cards for Evil Twin, Machina, Suship, Magiki, but above that is two brand new archetypes, Adventurer Token and Flunderies, and today we're going to go through the first of those, the Adventurers, and in the next video, also at the same time as this, we'll go through the Flunderies and see, are these two decks going to be the next meta? Spoilers, yes they are. So Adventurer Token is going to be the best deck, the best new engine from this brand new box by far, bar none. It is going to be the meta. Going forward, this is it. You'll see this in so many decks. Your deck doesn't rely on a normal summon effect. It will use it if you're playing Phantom Knight, Prank Kids, Dragon Link, Eldritch. So many decks in the meta really rely on special summoning and not really your normal summon. This will fit right in either as a starter or an extender, or just getting access to an Omni Negate and a bounce. It is so good. So let's start with the monster of the deck. The main card you're going to be going into is Water Enchantress of the Temple, who does have the animation Master, but you're never really going to be summoning her. You can banish this card from hand or graveyard to add a Rite of Amnesia from your deck or graveyard to hand. So it is either a searcher or some recursion for your main combo card, which is so good. You play 3 copies, you play 3 copies of Amnesia. You've got 6 ways of seeing your starter card. Very cool. If there's a token on board, you can just special summon this card out for free, which gives you an extender, gives you a link body. It's irrelevant to this part of the video, right, because we're talking about the engine, but if you're playing the full Adventurer deck, then this does give you access to a field spell. Enchantress is a level 3, which means that you can use her with the effect of Cherubini to search her from the deck. So she's very good in that regard, or you can send her to the graveyard with things like Foolish Burial and start your combo that way. So there's plenty of ways to get access to her to search for your Rite of Amnesia, which is going to be the main card of your deck. This is going to style your combo 100%. What it does is summons out a Brave token to your field, 2k attack, 2k defense, which is by itself is kind of okay, you know, a free token is pretty cool. If there's no Fateful Adventure in your field, you just play one directly from your deck. You only play one of them, but it gets you this card out for free. The downside is you can't activate monster effects that were normal summoned. If your deck relies on its normal summon, this won't be that good for you, but if it doesn't, which most decks in Master in the meta really just like are so special summon heavy, and as I said, this is around 3 copies, so you're going to see this 99% of the time in your games. You'll open one of these two, most likely. Then we have the Fateful Adventure. This is really going to be a core card of the combo that keeps recurring your Omni Negate. First of all, if you have a monster on the field that has like a equipped card to it, it makes it undestructible by battle once per turn. So that works more so with the main part of the deck, the non-engine part, but also kind of with the engine part. Then there's 2 other very good effects as well. The first one lets you add one monster from your deck to your hand that mentions Adventurer Token in it, which you're going to be adding the Wandering Griffin Rider, then you send a card from hand to the graveyard. Also, if a monster is normal special summoned, you can add to your hand or directly activate and equip to a card an Adventurer Equip spell from your deck. That also is going to get you into your Dracoback the Rideable Dragon. So these are 2 important cards. They're all run at 1 each, but these are important cards to having this looping combo going forward that really gives you so much interaction in your opponent's turn and in your turn. So first of all is Wandering Griffin Rider. This card can be special summoned when there's a token on your field or no monster at all. So if you just have it in your hand, it's a free body. If you have the token, it's another free body. And this has 2k attack and 2000 defense. So by itself, that's kind of okay. They don't really matter, but that's kind of good. But while you control a token, it's an Omni Negate for any card or effect on the field by shuffling this card back into the deck. And why is that good? Because you can then search for a next turn with a Fateful Adventure that's on your field already. Obviously, if you draw into Wandering Griffin, then you do not get the full benefit of the search, but still, that's cool. And of course, we can't forget about Nibiru the Primal Being. This card is so good against it because it is only your second summon of the turn. You'll get this out, and then you'll be ready for when your opponent does inevitably try to hit you with that big giant rock. And finally is Dracoback Rideable Dragon. It's your equip spell card. What it does is it gives you a free bounce once per turn, and when it's sent to the graveyard, you can then equip it to an Adventurer token you control. So here's a quick combo going through this on Edo Pro. So we activate the effect of our Water Enchantress to go now from our deck to our hand, the Rite of Amnesia. We then play Rite of Amnesia, special summoning a token and then activating to our field the Fateful Adventure from our deck. We then play Fateful Adventure's effect to search out the Wandering Griffin Rider. We then activate the effect of Wandering Griffin Rider to special summon this card to our field in defense mode, giving us an Omni Negate, but also triggering the effect of the Fateful Adventure to grab the Dracoback from our deck, and we can automatically activate it. This gives us a bounce with our equip card. Then our opponent's turn, we can activate the effect of our Griffin Rider to negate the activation of a card effect, shuffling it back into the deck, and then of course, we draw for turn, play our Fateful Adventure, search out for the Griffin Rider again, and go from there. And that is your small little loopy combo of somewhat always, as long as you can keep adventure on the field, you've got access to an Omni game, which is really, really big. And you will see this in so many decks in Master. But how do you combat against it? What can you do? Well, you've got things like John Lockbird, you've got the Gamma Sci-Frame stuff. If you want to use an Ash Blossom, then you kind of can do, if you think that ashing the Enchantress is going to be the best bet, you can do, but it's kind of like Alistair Invoker, right? You've got Invocation, Alistair, and Magical Meltdown. If you negate one of them, they've probably got the other one in hand already, right? And the same applies here, with Water Enchantress and Rite of Amnesia. They most likely have those cards in hand already. So really, if you're going to negate one thing, I think the negate is kind of best on the Fateful Adventure. I'm not too sure, I've not played the deck, right? I'm not a TCG expert, but if you can negate the search for the negate, the only negate right for the Griffin Rider, then that is so big. Yes, you might still be able to, you know, get off a search for an equip spell and get a bounce, but getting a bounce is way better, or like, it's way less for you to deal with than getting an Omni negate, right? So I think negating the Omni negate search is the best bet there, and then kind of deal with your opponent's field in the way you would do. So that is this short, quick, all-over-the-place introduction to Adventure Token in Master. Let me down below what you think. You're going to be picking this up in the brand new box. I'm sure it'll be kind of high rarity, right? We're expecting ultra rares, super rares for most of this stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Master video. See you then.